All right. We are looks like we're about to go live. The third time is the charm. I'm sorry about those delays there. It looks like YouTube is giving me some issues or my internet connection. But what I was saying, in case you missed the earlier videos, what I want to do today is I want to give everyone access to the $100,000 webinar. Is to promotation. I wanted to give you guys an insight to see goes into having a webinar campaign. And if you know this one webinar campaign made over $100,000, and I can go through and show you the back end of that, then that will show you guys how you can turn that into a reality for your business. So, I mean, think about for a second, what if you had a predictable source of income for your business through live events, through pre-recorded events, where if you said, you know, if I host one webinar event a week or one training a week, where if I invest $4 or $1 to get X amount of people to show up, and I know that will ultimately turn into $4 in return. So if I invest one and get $4 out, how often would you do that on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on a monthly basis? So what I want to do is I want to give you that kind of predictability for your business online, leveraging live events, pre-recorded events, webinar events, YouTube lives, Facebook lives, all of those things that you could all do within Jet Webinar. So the first thing I wanted to do was kind of give, you see here that I'm sharing my screen. And again, we are streaming this through through YouTube Live using Jet Webinar. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you a real life example of the webinar for a webinar event that we hosted this week. So it started on Monday, and up until today, I was just running the numbers on Facebook and our backend system, and it looks like we've generated about $7,400 in revenue off $2,700 in ad spend so far. And so we're only we have one more day out, so we're looking to surpass that $10,000 mark. And what we would like to, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to continue to do this more on a weekly basis and actually create other offers for the same audience, because we've noticed a lot of people within this audience have already purchased this package. So we're going to go through and create more. So right here, you see that we've spent so $2,700 in ad spend, and we got 584 people to show up. So if we kind of look at this from looking backwards all the way to the very beginning, so the very end result is how many people are actually going to show up to the webinar event. So normally you can assume that anywhere from 20 to 30% is the average. So maybe let's say 20 to 25% is the average there. So if you assume that if you've got, let's say, 600 people that have registered for the event, and you have 25% of those people who show up, you get 150 webinar registrants. So for our live event, there was about 150 webinar registrants, so that's right on point for that. And so that kind of gives you some good insight of how we're looking at that. Now, as far as getting into the marketing side of it, so how do we get all those people onto this event, and how are we able to continuously use the same presentation, advertise online, and continuously rely on getting results that will give us anywhere from a 2 to a 6x return on ad spend? So what we did here is I'm going to actually blow this up a little bit. Let me know if you can see it. So what I did is I created multiple campaigns within Jet Webinar, or within Facebook. So in Facebook, you see here that this is all of our retargeting. But this is for an event for the event that we hosted on February 18th. So you see 136, 151, 54. So if we go through and we break that down by the amount of results. So we had other campaigns, but these were our top 3 ones. So out of these top 3 ones, we got 341 people who signed up to this event. So you can see that some ad sets, we got, 37, 33, and you can see these numbers here get really impressive, right? So you got, $4.84 per webinar registrant, 483, 431, 689, 525. And so part of this process is I was going through and doing a lot of split testing. So I was doing a lot of research. So it wasn't just to simply acquire webinar registrants. It was to get data on this audience to figure out who we should be doubling down on for the next time around. So if you see that, then you'll understand that's kind of why we're spending a little bit more. So you see it averages a little bit under $7.50 per webinar registrant. Normally we get anywhere from $5 to $5.50 over all of our campaigns. And you'll see here that we kind of broke it down based on how people engaged. So people who engaged with a Facebook page or a Facebook ad, any one of them that you've posted in the last 365 days. We've downloaded all of their customer lists, their email lists. We've uploaded it into Facebook. We've created lookalike audiences. We targeted those emails directly. So that's how we essentially came up with these ad sets right here. Now, if you go through and break it down by delivery, so if you break it down by, let's say, age and gender, then that will give us another piece of information that will help us leverage it for next time, right? So you'll see here that we got 18 to 24 females, 4 of them signed up at $2.16. This was a little bit higher, so 35 to 44. Female was 2033 that we spent, so $6.78 per webinar registrant. So you'll see here that it kind of varies based on the demographic. Now, if you want to change this up and you want to see by, let's say, business location, okay? So if we go through and actually break it down by business location, then we can see, let's see, why is it not popping up here? Oh, there's the region. There we go. So if we break it down by region here, then we can see a little bit better cost per result. This will give us a little bit more data so we can target people in a local area, okay? So you see that we got 4 people who signed up at 36 cents, 3 people who signed up at 73 cents a piece, 2 people at 161, 2 people at 115, 2 people at 64 cents. So this is how you're able to really break down and really get a good understanding of your audience to get a very clear and concise idea of what you need to do in order to have a predictable source of webinar registrants and a predictable source of sales. So now that you kind of have a good understanding of going through setting up the process, how to set it up, how to kind of think about structuring your audiences, and you want to be sure that you're segmenting each one of your audiences and you're not combining audiences so you can get a very clear idea of who's coming from where. So now that you kind of see that, I'm going to go through and actually show you, I'm going to do this kind of impromptu show. I'm going to show you something here that's pretty cool. And actually, let me see if I could find it on, let's see if I could find it in my AOL account, but my Gmail account. But what I want to do is actually show you the blueprint and the template that we use to help get you more people to sign up for your events using Facebook. So what is the Facebook formula that I use to get these kind of results? And I'm going to show you that right here. So let me see if I can. Here we go. So what this is, as it's loading up, my computer's probably hating me right now, but okay. So this is called the perfect ad template. So this is by Nicholas Kusimich. And this has worked beautifully for us. And this is such a huge value add whenever you are going and creating ads, whether it's for a webinar, whether it's to get someone to exchange their email for a free offer, if it's to get someone to buy something. Now, this is the best piece of free. This is the best free offer online that I found today. And so what he does is he breaks each part of the ad down. So he's got 6 elements. So element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And he shows you how it's laid out within the ad, how to go through and set up the, how to structure the headline. And then he goes through and actually breaks down each part of the elements. So element 1, you start with a question that leads and that gets an implied yes and speaks specifically to your target audience. Build a rapport by connecting statement followed by the discovery. So if you go through, I highly recommend looking up Nicholas Kusimich, key elements of a perfect ad, and then it should be the first thing that shows up. And I highly, highly recommend next time you go through and you create a Facebook ad, use this, because once you use this, this will give you a pretty much the perfect template that you need in order to create a Facebook ad. So that's the component that goes into the ad creation. So we got the audience, we got the ad creation, we got how to actually look at your audience and how to split test and do all of those different kinds of things. And then the final component of this is all the automation that's tied into the back end of it. So that's where Jet Webinar kind of comes into play here. So if I let's log into their ad account really quick. We go into a Jet Webinar ad account. So actually, let me pull this up from here. So I'm going to pull this up really quick. So I'm going to show you how Jet Webinar is tied into a full marketing automation system and how you can really leverage this for what you're trying to accomplish. So after this loads, so we will go to the final event. We'll go here. So what we've done is we've set up a couple different automation sequences. So we have a complete email automation sequence that is set up. We have custom integrations that integrates with their marketing automation. So we've got confirmation emails. You can add as many reminder emails in here as you'd like. So we got 2-hour heads up, 60 seconds from going live, 24-hour warning. After the event has happened, you can have follow-ups. So you can, with a specific call to action for them to go purchase. For people who did not attend, those custom emails will go out. And for people who showed up and left early and didn't see the offer, then this is another sequence as well. So what Jet Webinar does is it takes all of your attendee information. So it breaks down how did people engage with your event. So you can see if they registered, if they attended, how many minutes did they watch, did they click on a call to action, did they finish, did they watch a replay. Based on those engagements, then those automated emails will go out. So that covers the email portion of it. Now, there's another component to it as well, which is the custom integration. So you want to tie this into Facebook, you want to tie this into Google, so you can continue to build data and build your audience around these different components, even though if you're not using them today. It helps kind of build a good infrastructure to when you start going and figuring out who your audience is on Facebook and on Google. So you see here, we also did a integration with ActiveCampaign. So if you see, so if you're familiar with ActiveCampaign is a marketing automation and email automation tool that helps segment your audience based on how they engage with your website, with webinars, with with your sales funnels, with your marketing funnels. Also is a way to manage your pipeline through deals and things like that. So it can also be a CRM system as well. So what we've done within ActiveCampaign is, I will show you the back end here for the automations that are set up. So we have the automations that's set up is it's a 6-series email sequence. So what you see here is the process is someone's going to go through, they're going to see a Facebook ad, they're going to click on the ad, they're going to see the registration page. Once they hit the registration page, then they enter in their information, and then they get brought to a thank you page, and then that's when all these automated emails go out that I just showed you. Now, if they don't hit the if they hit the registration page and they decide to leave, then what you can do is you can follow up on Facebook and create additional ads for those people who hit the page and then left. But that's a marketing side. I got chasing squirrels here. So as far as that, so after someone signs up, so once someone signs up, JetWebinar notifies this system, and now that's when all of these emails go out. So since the last webinar campaign, you'll notice that there's a lot of emails in here. So 284, 73, and so these are the sales emails. So how we've structured is after someone signs up, what we want to do is we want to give them a ton of value up front. So before the event even starts, we want to get them familiar watching you on video. So each of these emails, the first 3 emails also includes a video to give them additional value before they even attend the event. So if you're doing something around marketing or sales or training, then this is a little tidbit that you give before the event. And then it's the same thing for email 2, same thing for email 3. And then after they've gotten to that point, so after they've gotten the 3rd email, that's when, so between the 3rd and the 4th email, that's when the webinar presentation should start. So they should get the first 3 emails, and then they should see your presentation. And then emails 4, 5, and 6 should be the emails that they get after the event is over. So now that your event is over, now you're able to market to them through the email funnel. So you're having follow-up emails for them through JetWebinar that is having call to actions for people to purchase. And then this is also doing that as well. So email 4, 5, and 6 has a call to action with a lot of content, or not a lot of content, but enough content where it gives them value with a call to action for them to want to buy. So that's emails 4, 5, and 6. So that is kind of the back end system, and it's very simple when you really think about it, on taking one webinar event or one presentation that's been able to make over $100,000, and you can really see you're not really working with too many, it's not too many crazy things going on. So the more simple you can get it, the better. And if you make it simple, you get results, then you can start adding different components and different emails and different automations and marketing things to it. But your first goal is to get your initial sales, your first 5 sales, your first 10 sales, your first sale through hosting in a webinar event. And then from there, then there's a lot of other cool things that you can do along the way. Now, that could be within JetWebinar, that could be within your marketing automation system, within Facebook, within Google. So I hope that gives you a pretty clear idea of how simple it really is to go through and set up a converting webinar campaign for your business. And if you ever need help or you need assistance with that, we actually have a complete walkthrough free offer blueprint for you guys if you wanted to see the step-by-step strategy on how to take one webinar campaign and bring it to 6 figures and beyond. Now, if this is information that really excites you and it's something that you are wanting to participate in, or you have an audience that is really interested in this, what I would recommend doing is I would sign up for our affiliate program. And that's under affiliates.jetwebinar.com. And within our affiliate program, I give you a lot of marketing insights and a lot of cool things like that, and a lot of done-for-you marketing campaigns and funnels that you can just relay to your audience and get paid based on those results. So that is pretty much everything that I've covered today. And if you have any questions, write in the comments. I'll be more than happy to get back to you on that. But I appreciate everyone watching, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much.